Welcome back, everyone. We are now here for the final of the 10th Alliance tournament. We have Verge of Collapse versus Hun Reloaded, and we have an amazing fight ahead of us. Hun Reloaded has brought back their Vargers. Verge of Collapse has brought a Mimitar Rush team. This is Ravy here with Kill 2. And what do you think about these two teams, Kill 2?
I don't know what to think. As usual, Hun bringing the Vargers is like surprising and also not surprising, and I don't know how it's going to do against anyone. I feel like Rush could beat it. I feel like the Slipners do enough damage that it's possible they could win this, but at the same time, the Vargers have just not flinched at anything so far. So yeah. I kind of have to give my favorite to Hun just because it seems like they know the setup can win.
I do feel the same way. This is a slightly different setup than what they brought the last two times. It is the triple Varger setup instead of the double, and they're up against a triple Sleipnir team with a Cyclone and with two Sentinels, which I think are going to be the key ship for Verge, but I don't think it's going to be enough. These Vargers have shown themselves very strong, and I'm not sure if Sleipnir's going to take them down. Either way, it's a very heavy Mimitar final.
Here we go, guys. We are underway now. There's some range between the teams. Hun did their usual thing of warping a couple Vargers to 0 and spreading the rest of the team out behind it. Verge mostly pretty far from the beacon, so it'll be a second before we see damage come in, but we are going to see it soon.
So the Hun Vargers are charging right towards the Verge of Collapse team. They're going to be trying to get in close. They're probably being range tracking disrupted by the Sentinels, so they need to get in a little bit closer to start dealing damage. But once they get in range, as we just see, we now have a newt from the Vargers on the Cyclone. We're going to be seeing a lot of damage very fast on that Cyclone of Heart. Oh, it's Dajal.
It looks like Verge is trying to use the Tracking Disruptor optimal scripts to make their range count. They're not closing in on those Vargers except for the Frigs, which have gone into scram every single Varger. You see all their speed is basically at 0. That's because of the Frigs. So we'll see if they switch to those Harpies and try to... Now they're just able to get that Cyclone for now.
So we're seeing a DPS battle going on right now. The first Varger for Hun Reloaded is being prime raid while they're going after one of the Verge Cyclones. This is just a match of these two teams trying to bash through each other's tanks. They're both going for a ship that has an ASB and has support from their scimitars. So it's that Varger for Justice for Hungry dropping very low. I definitely don't think he'll be able to survive for the reload, even if he makes it to that point.
Now, and the Cyclone feeling pretty comfortable. He's right there close. They were able to close on him enough to get the damage close. You can see him there, but he is having no problem, and the Varger now taking armor damage.
The fact that he doesn't have a web on that Cyclone, he's not webbed, he's still able to go 100, well actually now he's dropping speed a bit, but he's going enough, fast enough to be able to mitigate some of the damage with the tracking disruptors. That may be what's keeping it for him. As I say that though, he drops into very low shield, so it looks like they were able to get some more hits on him.
It's all a tracking game right now. That quick drop in speed was when he bumped into one of the Vargers and slowed down for a second. They track for a second, damage goes up, and he goes down into armor. If he can get his transversal up again, he could totally start mitigating all the damage and be okay. But
losing chunks of his armor, though.
Yeah, and the ASB is going to be out of charge soon, but which is also true for the Varger, though.
That Varger's dropping into armor. They're probably going to die about the same time. That is an excellent trade for Verge of Collapse. I trade a Cyclone for a Varger anyways, and the Cyclone actually probably going to stay up a lot longer.
Oh my gosh, Varger going down.
Is this going to be the first time we've seen a Varger for Hun Reloaded die? I think it is.
So.
And there it goes. They've lost a Varger. The Vargers are mortal after all. Hun Reloaded losing one of the key ships in the setup.
Keep in mind that means all the damage from that Varger gone, so that cuts their damage by a ton, not to mention the tracking disruptors that were on that Varger now get stacked on the other, so you see even less tracking from them.
And the second Varger is dropping really fast. One of the Cyclones now down for Verge, but that Hun Varger is dropping into low shield.
Notice the scimitar is damped. He might be too far out. Is there a rep effect? No, he's got reps, but he's still breaking.
They're just getting right through it. There's no way he's going to survive through the reload. So they are firing on the scimitar. The scimitar of War God is, no, he's not webbed anymore. It doesn't have newts on him, just not. So he's got the frigs on him. He has frigates all swarmed around him, but at the moment he's tanking fine. The Sentinel of Hargoth Sivre, who's very famous in EVE as the man who disbanded Band of Brothers, is taking some damage as well for the Verge of Collapse team, but he's being repped right back up by War God.
And he's, totally comfortable. War God himself, comfortable for now, like you said. All their support on top of him. Those Hawks are there trying to burn him down. It looks like he's starting to struggle a little bit, but so is the Varger for Hun Reloaded.
Yep. Tomcat's hungry for Hun Reloaded is probably not going to make it through his reload cycle. So right at the moment, it's just a matter of time before he has to go into reload. He's still boosting, but once that stops, we're going to see him go down. And at that point, about 2/3 of the DPS for Hun Reloaded is going to be off the field. I feel very good for Verge right now, even with War God having a lot of trouble. It's going to be in a tough place. Hargoth Sentinel is now being neuted, so he's gotten within range of one of the Vargers, most likely, to get those newts on him.
Scimitar for Hun Reloaded getting neuted by those Sentinels. Damp still on him, and that Varger was dipping even lower. It looked like he was about to go into armor, but then got a couple big boosts back. He's doing okay for now. Scimitar for Verge
Varga's
starting to hurt pretty bad, though.
now.
Ooh.
The Simi probably had to turn off his reps because of the newts on him, and now he's not repping, and there doesn't look like we have the booster going either for that Varga, so he's going to drop any second now.
There goes a Hawk as well for Hun Reloaded.
Oh, the reps are back on him. The Scimitar got a bit of repping. We'll see if that's enough to keep him alive, but he's into structure now. If they lose this second Varga, their DPS is going to be anemic from this point, although the Scimitar of War God is dropping. That Scimitar is going to be
that
disappearing
Varga,
any moment
low
now.
structure. He's going to go down,
They're
Ravy.
both going to go down. And
there goes the Varga.
2/3 of the Vargas down for Hun Reloaded. It looks like Verge of Collapse found the counter to the Vargas, and it's just more damage. Sleipnirs and Cyclones with the backup from these Sentinels is doing a great job as we see War God Scimitar going down, but not before he kept a lot of his team members up for a very long time. Great job on his part. He's done an amazing job this whole tournament.
3 Sleipnirs still totally healthy. They have the last Varga at about half shields. They could probably switch over and start killing support. They could also, at this point, probably get to the Scimitar and kill him. They have a lot of freedom now in the match with most of those Vargas.
Now they've got their Harpies. You can see the Nos web and point on that Hawk for Hun Reloaded. The Harpies do more DPS than the Hawks and the Merlins, so that is a stronger set of support for the Verge team. I have to feel good for the Verge team at this point. They have the better core of central ships with the 3 Sleipnirs versus the 1 Varga, and they've got the better support with all of their Harpies still intact, while the last of the Assault Frigs, the Hawk for Hun Reloaded, dropping into structure and disappearing.
Yeah, we're seeing that support battle that Zastro's really excited about happening right now, where the Harpies are fighting the Hawks and the Merlins. At the same time, Sleipnir's staying totally focused on that Varga. They might maybe have some trouble with him without the Harpies there to provide extra DPS, and it looks like now a Sentinel starting to take quite a bit of damage from Verge of Collapse too. That's probably from drones.
Yeah, if they can drop those Sentinels down, it will make it a lot easier for them to hit, especially against the support. But the Varga of Yago Yun, the same one that PL primary last match, is going down. He's definitely not going to survive through his reload. So they're going to knock down that Sentinel, it looks like.
Same thing's happening now to Yago Yun that happened to the last Varga. He has no reps on him right now from the Scimitar. That is probably 100% because of the Sentinel.
Yeah.
He's been neuted and nosed by that Sentinel for the majority of this match, and his cap has to be hurting. He's not getting a cycle. That
Scimitar is going to have a cap booster, but he's only going to rep between boosts. So he's going to get a boost off probably with a Navy 400 booster.
Varga down.
Oh, all of the Vargas are down for Hun Reloaded. Verge of Collapse is going to be our 10th Alliance Tournament champions.
They absolutely are.
Hun Reloaded is going to be coming out of this with those amazing Assault Frigs, but Verge is going to win the Own Sprays, and this is an amazing match. An upset, I was thinking Hun was going to win this. I think just about everyone was expecting that Hun was going to win this. Verge has now surprised us, what, 4 times?
Yeah, they upset
times?
us on every single match today.
Yeah. Verge
Unbelievable.
surprising everyone.
Scimitar down for Hun Reloaded. They have nothing left. The Tengu's a command ship. Well, not down quite for the Scimitar, but down shortly. Tengu is just providing links. He doesn't do very much on his own. And then it's just some Frigs, and Verge of Collapse will have this totally clinched. Yeah, those Sleipnirs, they're in no danger of going down. They've got ASBs themselves. There's not enough damage coming from the Hun team to knock down any of these core ships. And it's just a matter of time now. We are going to be seeing our new Alliance Tournament 10 champion. Hun Reloaded, having won the 4th Alliance Tournament, coming back to the semifinals here in the 10th. Verge has never won an Alliance Tournament. Some of their members have. But Verge has never been in an Alliance tournament. In this Alliance, I don't believe they ever have. They do have members that have been in other Alliance tournaments. War God got a win with PL one year, but they really have come out of, like, not, I wouldn't say left field. Like, people knew Aquila and Volta. These are corps that were well known, but the Alliance itself was a bit less well known, and nobody thought they were going to be better than Rote, going to be better than Mildly Intoxicated, going to be better than Exodus, and now better than Hun. This is an amazing performance against all of our expectations. Yeah, just fantastic. It's so fun. We talked earlier in the tournament about how we'd feel if a team we didn't expect to win would come through and win, and I'm sure you're a little disappointed PL didn't win, but it's so amazing to see a team that didn't get enough respect for the whole thing. Then being a surprise is a great consolation. Yeah. So they've got that Tengu scram now. He'll be webbed in just a second as well. The Sleipnirs are catching up to him, and they'll finish him off, and they don't have much more to go until they can say for sure that they're Alliance Tournament champions. Yep, God's Cold Blood taking some damage, but he can probably rep it. Even if he does go down, though, it's not going to change the actual outcome of this match. This is a group with Verge of Collapse. We've miscorrectly said what they do in this game and what they're about a couple times, so they have corrected us in the forums. We'll let them know. Verge does a very creative setup where they live in wormholes but do their PvP mostly in 0-0. We are all done. Congratulations, Verge of Collapse. An amazing run on finals day, an amazing finals match. And congratulations to Hun Reloaded as well for a
Both of
strong
these teams
second.
are coming out of this match with over $1 trillion ISK worth of special ships. They're going to have 50 of each of those ships. The Cambion, the Assault Frigate for Hun Reloaded, the Atana, the Own Spray for Verge of Collapse. I'm sure we're going to see those be used to great effect, possibly on TQ, but definitely in future tournaments. Congratulations to Verge of Collapse Alliance Tournament 10 champions.
Amazing stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to send you back to Soundwave.